We start in China, where the fifth session of the 12th National People's Congress has opened. Top Communist Party of China and state leaders have attended the opening meeting of the session at the Great Hall of the People in Beijing on Sunday morning. Premier Li Keqiang delivered a keynote speech on the government's work report reviewing achievements made since last year. The report also focuses on China's future plans and strategic development in the year ahead. CGTN's Wang Tongxuan has more.
With all the growing anti-globalization sentiment, the world is eager to hear how the Chinese economy has been doing, or more importantly, perhaps, what lies ahead.
GDP is projected to grow by 6.5% approximately. However, in practice, we will strive for better.
That's down from 6.7% last year, the lowest in 26 years, due to weak overseas demand and domestic economic restructuring. But the premier played on how China's tax policies have increased consumption and contributed to nearly two-thirds of the country's GDP in 2016.
The trial replacement of business tax with value-added tax was extended to cover all sectors, slashing the tax burden of businesses for the year by over 570 billion yuan and reducing tax burdens in every sector.
Li also set the tone for China's monetary policy.
We will continue to pursue the prudent and neutral monetary policy. The M2 money supply and aggregate financing are forecast to grow by around 12% in 2017.
The work report pledged to improve efficiency and effectively deal with China's underperforming or so-called zombie enterprises. However, Li stressed that China can only make sustainable advances through reform and innovation.
We will intensify efforts to implement the Made in China 2025 initiative, promote the accelerated application of big data, cloud computing, and the Internet of Things, and use new technologies, new forms of business, and new models to bring about transformation in the production, management, and marketing models of traditional industries.
The importance of this year's two sessions is heightened as it comes ahead of a major Chinese Communist Party Congress due to be held later this year. Tongxuan, CGTN.
Well, let's get you more on this now. I'm joined live from Beijing by CGTN's Ho Na. Ho Na, just to begin with, what is the latest coming out of those all-important two sessions and the start of the NPC?
Well, definitely the government work report is definitely the highlight of the day. And here at the Great Hall of People this morning at the opening session, Premier Li Keqiang briefed over 3,000 lawmakers on the government's challenges and achievements during the past year. Well, he said it is vital that the Chinese economy remains stable in the coming year. And he also he stressed the importance to have several reforms in several sectors. For instance, he vowed to carry forward structural reform. And he also said it is important that to improve the environment for foreign investors in the coming year. And he said cutting capacity will definitely be topping the agenda as it hinders the development in various sectors. He also said environmental protection will be one of the on top of the agenda as the government is trying to bring back the blue skies back to China. And also he vowed to create more than 11 million new jobs in the coming year and keep the rural unemployment ratio within 4.5%. So those are all the highlights of this year's government work report. And it is true that China's GDP growth rate has slowed significantly from its double-digit growth, but the premier is quite confident that the size of the economy will be doubled by 2020 compared with 2010, and he's setting the growth rate, the GDP growth rate of this year, at 6.5%. Linda.
Now, looking ahead to the coming week, can you give us an idea of what we can expect out of Beijing and those meetings?
Well, there are various sessions and press conferences to expect in the coming week. For instance, tomorrow, the NDRC, the National Development and Reform Commission, will hold a press conference. And the day after tomorrow, the Ministry of Commerce and Agriculture will brief the media separately at the Great Hall of People. And also on March the 8th, There is much anticipated press conference each year during the session. That is the Foreign Minister Wang Yi's press conference. And each year he will be asked about China's foreign policies. And there are many thorny and sensitive issues. I guess this year, for instance, the China-U.S. relations and security challenges in the Asia-Pacific region, as well as South China Sea issues, are expected to top the agenda. And in the coming week, the top legislature, the NPC Standing Committee, will also deliver a work report, and the Supreme People's Court and the Supreme People's Procuratorate will deliver their work report separately. So there are many to expect in the coming week. Back to you, Linda.
Indeed, a busy week ahead. Thanks very much, Ho Na, joining us live there from Beijing.